simple PR campaign.
If you want to
is
talk
just work
about
on
woke country, talk to me about Casey Musgraves.
No, that is mother.
Exactly. That's
That
what I'm
is
saying.
mama.
So don't play.
That is
game.
mama.
Yeah.
I love Casey Musgraves.
She's not
more
allowed.
than anything in my
She's
whole
not allowed
entire
on
being.
country radio because of Follow Your Arrow.
Good.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Good.
saying. Good. Like
Good.
you don't deserve to be playing those.
The fact
bop.
that country music still to this day is so stuck in the past. There's no like, obviously there's a reason there's no new like fans liking country music besides the same demographic over and over again. Like I don't like country music and I love Casey Musgraves.
Lately, people have been saying to me, like, have you heard this new song? And it's country. And I'm like, where is your head at asking me questions like that?
I saw that it was like Morgan Wallen was like on the top charts or
Wallen.
something. Wallen.
He's
Exactly.
Wallen. He's literally Wallen.
I don't know who that is. He was on the top charts or something and everyone was like, who is this man? Like,
don't
how
know
did
him?
he like...
I'm so sorry, Misty. Skip a few seconds ahead.
Morgan Wallen?
My best friend Misty is like obsessed with Morgan Wallen.
Morgan Wallen is a
Oh.
terrible person. And then they didn't
I'm
let
all
him
for
on.
this.
They didn't let him on SNL because he said the N-word like the day before he was supposed to go on
I
SNL,
know.
and they were like, "You are not allowed to come here."
Why are these people famous?
And this was like last year.
Why are these people
This wasn't.
famous?
I wouldn't even.
These people have a platform.
I actually say last year generously because it could be within the last 6 months that this happened.
These people have a that's what boggles my mind. These people have a platform.
Everyone's obsessed with him. I'm not into that stuff.
Well, what I was saying is that he was like trending on the charts or something.
Yeah, because
like
he
top
released
charts.
some song and he's
Yeah.
like,
these people were coming out of the woodworks, putting him on the top like 10, and like I mean, I saw like an uproar of people being like confused on who this man is.
Yeah.
And what the like, how did country music make it back in top 10? Like, I feel like we've like
so bad.
almost like progressed so much as like not just like as a society, but like I feel like our taste has acclimated to what is
Yeah.
going on in the world and everything, and country music is just not in it because it's so synonymous with just like racism and just like people being horrible and bigoted.
Yeah.
So like I just feel like whenever I think country music, I immediately think like, oh, well,
Part of the
That
reason why
person's not
his
a good
album did so
person.
well too is also because it had like 40 songs on it, and the more songs you have, instantly the better it does on Billboard.
40 songs.
Because 10 songs counts as an album play. So if you release an EP, listening to the whole thing doesn't count as an album play, whereas an album with 40 songs on it counts as 4 plays.
The more you know.
There you go.
That's a good little cue for the more you know type
Yeah.
bit. Well, hey guys, we didn't even talk about question of the day. That was just a rant. But
I don't hate Taylor Swift.
I don't.
Queen.
I have a queen. I have a found respect for Taylor, and I have been listening to her music a lot more recently this past year, and I appreciate her. I
like that one song. Please don't be in love with someone else. That's the only song I really like.
It's a good one. That's a good one.
All those Speak Now ones that hit TikTok.
Yeah,
had a moment.
I'm more into the albums where she's like walking around in her frilly dress. Like everything after, like, but
Well,
I definitely like people less than I like her.
okay, I got it.
Great.
Well, our question of the day is just what we did for spring break. I had a vacation. I went to West Palm Beach, and it was grand.
I've been thinking about that place a lot lately because I've never been there.
West Palm Beach,
No.
grand. What?
I've never been there.
Where is she talking about?
West Palm Beach.
I just
We
said
asked.
West Palm
he was
Beach, and
literally
you
just
went
like-
no.
Yeah, I said no because no, I've never been there.
You heard it right.
I heard the same thing you heard.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry guys. No, I've never been there. And I've been hearing a lot of things about that place, and I've been thinking like, why have I never been there?
See, I had no idea what you were talking
No,
about.
I've never been
What
there.
about you, Jacob? What'd you do?
So I, like, as soon as spring break hit, I ran away and went to Disney World for like 3 days.
I'm going to Disney World.
It was so fun. I haven't been since before COVID. The Star Wars ride, still 10 out of 10. Still incredible. I went on.
Disney adult.
I was not, and now I think I might be becoming one.
You're transitioning.
Potentially. Yes. No, my big day of the trip was I went to Epcot, and they have the whole like Guardians of the Galaxy ride, which I was really mad about because they used to have the little like Ellen show where you sit there, get AC for like 40 minutes, and she takes you through like the dinosaurs, and it was like fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And they took that away for the stupid Guardians of the Galaxy, who I could care less about, but it was actually really cool. And I ate a lot, as one does at Epcot.
Did you get like a big chicken leg, the turkey leg?
No, we had reservations and we went to like this fancy like Chinese restaurant in the China Pavilion and we got like a ton of food.
I'm going to Disney World after my graduation. I'm so excited to actually get slammed around the world. Like,
Oh my God, you're gonna get drunk.
I'm gonna get slammed, and then the people in China are gonna start their performance, and they are gonna have a special guest appearance because by the time I get there, what do we start with? Mexico. Next thing you know, I'm gone already.
I was for some reason at Disney World on like New Year's Eve once or something, and you just hit your elbow.
Yeah, I just hit my elbow. Sorry.
Funny bone.
It's very humorous to me.
I was there for like New Year's Eve once, and it was actually like something I've never seen before because it was like what you wouldn't expect from Disney. Like all of a sudden there was like a silent disco in China, and
okay, I'm trying to hit that.
And there was like flamethrowers everywhere. Like I was like 13 at the time, and I was like in like cargo shorts, like just looking around like, why is this happening?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just had to lay that out for the people.
Disney is a time.
Haven't been back since.
I haven't been in a long time. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Besides that, I mostly just like chilled. I feel like everybody's like.
Everyone had a very chill spring break, unless you were on that cruise.
I didn't go on a cruise. I went to Costa Rica. I said that 400 times, but
Costa Rica, it looked beautiful.
it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
But the whole thing was, I didn't realize that like there's black sand beaches.
Yes, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So you got there and you were like, why is the sand black?
No, I was like, why are my feet on fire?
Oh, yeah, because...
Yeah, because black sand beaches.
Yeah.
So I'm like going into the water, like trying to aid and abet like my
heat is being absorbed.
All of our feet were fried, burned, because then on top of it, like the sand on the black sand on your feet attract the sun.
Yeah.
So my feet were fried.
Yeah.
My roommate's feet were actually balloons.
Oh.
And it was a hysterical comedy hour how hot the sand was. It was really shocking to me.
Really shocking to me.
And the waves were so big. I was having a blast, and I was like, I want to go surfing, but then I realized, no, I would have died 100%. I would have been like, I don't need a lesson. I don't need anyone to tell me what to do. Like, I'm just going to go ride the waves. Immediately would have been Bethany Hamilton. Yeah.
I mean, I'm for the shark.
Oh, yeah, I'm Team Shark now.
I'm Team Shark.
I'm Team Shark.
I'm Team Shark.
Now.
When it came out she was transphobic, Team Shark.
Team Shark.
Team Shark.
I saw that. When was that?
What did she say, though? I forgot, whatever. It doesn't
Girl,
matter.
I don't know. All I know is that she's transphobic. So, I'm Team Shark.
Team Shark.
I'm for the fishtails. So today we're talking about a lot of things.
Yeah.
As we already have. And I'm here too.
Yes,
it's always worth a disclaimer. Click away now.
We have three things. Well, no, we're talking about the TikTok trial. And we kind of like opened up with how this week has just been like just a shit show. And I think that a lot is going on in the news, and it would be a crime for us to not talk about it because it's really important stuff, not only happening to our generation, but what's to come. So with TikTok ban might be happening, and just anti-trans bills, and just a lot of book bannings, and us getting a few steps closer to fascism, I think it would be a great opportunity to talk about this stuff.
Yeah. And my gas bill is $1,200. Anyone?
Well, sadly, we have a Willow project going into effect. That's horrible. But let's talk about the TikTok trial, because I know that Jacob is here with us today, and he has a lot to say about it. He's our little tech guy that comes on and pops on and gives us little tidbits of information, stuff that we think we know, or we bridge the gap with knowledge, but he actually knows the stuff. We kind of just give like
that's a
broadband
huge badge of honor.
And well, yeah, we kind of just give broadband information, and just like he gives us the little in-depth tidbits that we need. So with the TikTok trial happening this week, all I've seen from watching it has been blatant disrespect for
the CEO.
The CEO. I mean, every single congressman has talked over him and not even allowed him to give his own
response,
two-piece or response to any of the questions. And they're not even questions at that point. They are just statements pointed towards him, which could have been dealt with in, I don't know, maybe like a tweet or an email or something. Like it literally just seems like they ask a question, he gives a yes or no answer after they badger him to give a yes or no answer to questions that don't even correspond with yes or no. They're like, what does this do? And they're like, it's yes or no. And he's like, you started the question with a what, basically. Like, I need to explain myself before I say yes or no.
Right.
And they've basically led this whole entire witch hunt of, we need to ban TikTok because it spreads misinformation. It breaches us U.S. citizens' data, and there was one more piece of information that they were using in their arguments.
Couldn't say I know.
Safety of our children or something like that.
Yes.
So Jacob, take it away, and I will kind of.
So we'll
go from there.
Yeah, this all kind of stems from. You hear the term big tech thrown around. There's like big pharma, there's big government, there's big any industry.
Yeah.
And now it's big tech. And there's kind of this bipartisan condemnation of the tech industry, but it's for very different reasons on each side of the aisle. So more of like the liberal and the democratic cause against big tech has more to do with it as big business, monopolization, things, people buying things up. You see there's criticism of Apple saying that like the App Store is like illegal. And then there's criticism as well of Microsoft trying to buy like Activision and Blizzard right now. All these like, acquisitions and things like that, and this kind of consolidation of the industry. That's more where the Democrat side of big tech criticism is coming from. And we've seen President Biden lead a lot of that. He put in a new leader for the Federal Trade Commission who is like adamantly opposed to big tech, like wrote a paper about it. And like, that's her whole mission, is like stopping Meta and their acquisitions and Amazon and their acquisitions.
Yeah.
And then on the right side of the aisle, the big tech criticisms that we see are more about freedom of speech.
Yep.
And so this all kind of stemmed from these allegations of conservative censorship on social media. We saw this with the beginning of, Trump getting suspended from Twitter was like one part of that. But, it really began with, the average conservative Twitter user making allegations like, oh, my tweets are being censored, people aren't seeing my content. And then eventually it worked its way up to Trump being suspended from Twitter, Facebook, all these things.
Yeah.
His own like website provider dropping him, things like that.
Yeah.
And so the Republican Party has kind of been pushing to rewrite Section 230, which, if you aren't aware, it's been a topic of conversation for a while now. Section 230 is a part, like one sole part of a bill that Bill Clinton signed that was deemed constitutional. All the rest of it was deemed unconstitutional and got thrown away. And Section 230 is the one part that remains, and it says that social media providers are not responsible for what the people on their platform post.
Yeah.
And it's like the basis of everything on social media today. Before then, when people posted things on forums, you could legally be held responsible for what people said if you didn't approve it, you didn't screen it. And now Section 230 is like guarantees that the provider doesn't have to be responsible for it, but it does incentivize them to, police their own platform. And so conservatives are kind of coming after that and saying that we need to gut Section 230 and change it around so that people are
age restricted,
right,
content.
And the other thing is, too, they need to be responsible for making sure that they aren't censoring certain political voices. Like, they want to make sure that people have guaranteed, like, free speech on social media. So then this TikTok trial comes around, and you mix both of these sides of the aisle, the Democrats.
Plus lobbying.
Right. You have the Democrats who are anti-big business, and, you have TikTok. And, of course, it's, a foreign company, so that makes it, even more prone to, the xenophobia.
It's not Facebook either.
Which is crazy. It's, like, they keep saying stuff about him being connected to China and, like, the CCP.
Right.
But he's a Singaporean man.
Yeah.
He's from Singapore. And the fact that we have congressmen that we elected up there saying that this man's from China, when he's said countless times over and over again in the trial that he's from Singapore. And he has, a connection to China for ByteDance, but that subsidiary has nothing to do with TikTok itself. And it doesn't answer to the Chinese government, which he has said in trial over and over and over again. It boggles my mind. But
right,
what you were saying about him, like the company, them coming after it because he's Singaporean,
right,
or they keep saying he's connected to China in some way.
Right, and you take this aversion to the big business, and then you also take this, a lot of the criticisms you've seen directed at TikTok in this trial are, what about Tiananmen Square? Like, are you censoring these things, all these things? And so that's what's coming from the right. And so you put these two parties who are opposed to big tech I use big tech in quotes. I hate that. Big tech next to each other and attacking this CEO right in the middle of the room. Mm-hmm. It's just a recipe for disaster. There's not going to be real questioning going on here. Mm-hmm. Like everybody's just going to, try and
they're pushing their agenda. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're acting on their accord, not really for the people by the people.
Yeah.
Which is our government.
And I mean, you see as well, you see that everybody's coming after TikTok, and the main excuse that's being used is, the spying thing. We've all heard about this.
Yeah,
There's data. China's using data, and I think what's really been, I can't say it's even been blowing my mind anymore. I know you guys have seen these clips too. Is just the things that the people who are in the trial, our congressmen, are saying. It just really proves that they don't know what they're talking about
at all.
Did you see the clip of the guy who said, "Does TikTok connect to my home Wi-Fi?"
To my home Wi-Fi.
And then from there, he was able to breach that gap and say, since it connects to Wi-Fi, it connects to all devices, and it's stealing from all my devices.
But he's like, no, it doesn't.
And he's like, sir, that's not how Wi-Fi works.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi connects you to the internet. And he's like,
yeah.
The one guy saying stuff about pupil dilation.
Oh, yeah.
That was mind-blowing that he was trying to connect those dots.
I think I also, not that I think the line of questioning is also remarkably stupid, but I think if you consider an average human being, I don't know how the Wi-Fi works. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how that works. Like, what are you talking about?
I mean, yeah, but it's like
things through the air. Like, so I think a lot of people are actually that stupid.
Yeah.
And really are asking these questions because they are genuinely clueless, and they somehow ended up in a position where they didn't mind to do their research, which is, I think, their own fault. Like, you should never be asking someone a question without knowing a little piece of the answer first, especially in a situation like that.
But they don't want to.
And these councils, like, the committees that are, these people that are selected for these committees, like, in my mind, in a perfect government, the people that are selected for the committees actually have some background within the jurisdiction or the information
that's
or
just
jurisdiction
not how the
within
American
the
government works.
That's not how we work. That boggles my mind.
The only real threat that you can say to majority of these people, and I saw a TikTok about this earlier, is like, if you start threatening them on a primary level, it's like, oh, I'm not going to vote for you in the general election. No, like, if you threaten them at a primary level and are like, oh yeah, there might be someone that I decide to run against you for, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, like, that's what's going to scare them. Yeah. I think people are starting to say, like, if you don't figure your shit out with this TikTok stuff, like, we're going to find someone else in the primary.
And it's just like, what do they think that it's going to happen? 150 million American users. You take away the app that, like,
yeah, but then it all becomes
fun.
Facebook, and then it all becomes Facebook, and then it's counterintuitive to the message that the Democrats are already sending when it's like, let's avoid a monopolization.
Well, it's
if everything that we
Facebook is lobbying for them. That's
yeah, exactly.
The reason why they're
Meta's been lobbying for them forever and ever and ever, and that's how Facebook went under the exact same trial, and Mark Zuckerberg came out of it totally unscathed.
And here's what's even worse, too, is that it may not be an outright ban of TikTok. What they're likely going to do is they're going to push TikTok to sell to an American company. They're going to force ByteDance, the
data company,
the owner of the subsidiary of TikTok. They're going to force TikTok to be sold off to an American company.
Yeah.
And we saw this during COVID, I believe, as well. It was like right around the election time.
Yeah.
And they ended up making a deal, and it was between, like, I think Microsoft was at play, and then Oracle, Microsoft, hello, and like Walmart got involved somehow too. And I don't think anything ever even came of that. Like it just stalled. It was like a stunt for, I believe it was President Trump at the time.
It
for
was.
stalling
It was.
China.
It was a stunt because the election was coming up.
Yeah.
And so it'll be really interesting to see. But yeah, it's funny how you mentioned that like we don't need subject matter experts in Congress because like it's true. They get to pick who testifies, who speaks. Like they get to live in a, I guess, isolation bubble.
Yeah.
And like only hear the
Unbeknownst to us, we
information.
just get to live their fantasy. Like
They put these people up on trial. They get to crucify them,
the
say whatever they want.
constituents, we have put these people there. Sadly,
Yeah.
horribly, we put these people there. But
Well,
I was gonna.
you
Well,
can't always say we.
I know.
I
We
certainly.
can't-
I feel like our listener base didn't put these people
Yeah,
here.
we did not put them there. We advocated against them. But still, I've just been so frustrated with it lately this week, and it's just my thing is that if they want to go after the misinformation take throughout this trial, if they want to take that, like go that way, we can talk about all the other American companies, social media companies that have spread misinformation like wildfire, and then, I mean, it just boggles my mind that we had a trial with a man that had Facebook and Instagram, like Mr. Mark Zuckerberg.
And that's what the TikTok CEO even said, too. He said, oh, if you want to talk to me about data, you know, there are American companies that are just as bad, if not worse.
Like
Facebook and Cambridge Analytica. Like, are you familiar with the whole Cambridge Analytica thing?
Yeah.
Where, you know, this company was formed and it basically just, through like a game set up on Facebook, it mined all kinds of personal information about Facebook's almost their entire personal base. Not even just the people playing the games. It was able to ask people for their friends' data. And it was able to just scoop that off Facebook and build a complex map and really predict like what kind of messages would make Trump appeal to the American
people
audience.
Yeah.
And, you know, the TikTok CEO mentioned that. And we also saw it was like, I really want to get on this data thing because it's really ridiculous, this implication that TikTok collects more data than any other, you know, American company, because the
It's just false.
right, like the congressman, did you see the clip where he was like, we were able to figure out people's age by age gating, and they're like, what's age gating? And he was like, when you ask
for
someone their
information-
age.
Yeah, literally.
When you ask for their information.
Oh, how old? Like literally, it'll come up after. It's like, did you enjoy this video? And you're like, yes, no, not interested. And you like click yes, and they're like, how old are you? And you click like 20. Does that come up on your For You page?
I never click yes or no.
Yeah,
I
skip
see,
those.
I've always found that I'll do like any survey that anyone sends me.
Oh,
Good for you.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. You know, you need more.
The people in the group.
you are the data harvester's dream.
Yeah, no, literally. Anytime someone sends things in group meetings, like I will answer. Like I will do
You're
your
a good
survey.
Samaritan. I leave the group me up as soon as I see
I
that.
will
I'm
do your
like,
research
"Slash group
survey."
me's."
Yeah, I've done so many research projects here because people are like, I'm like, I have time. Like, what? I'm going to spend an hour on my couch or an hour being poked and prodded. Let's go.
All right. Well, the data. Jacob, take it away again.
Yeah.
Wait, before you say this, can I just say, like, I'm just so unbelievably, genuinely not concerned about where the data is because of the Cambridge Analytica thing? Because that happened, what, 4 or 5 years ago?
2016.
So 7 years ago now. I was on Facebook at that time.
Yeah.
I never really used Facebook.
I never really used Facebook, but I was on there. Like, I had a Facebook account. I made it in high school.
It doesn't matter much if you use it too, because
Yeah.
like I said, Facebook will ask you, like when you play a game, it'll be like, do you give Am I
Facebook
Gay
login.
quiz?
Oh,
Do you give Am I Gay quiz permission to access your friend's
Yeah.
profile pictures and personal information?
I've
You just
always-
click yes, and then there's your
Just to
data.
get in, yeah.
You didn't even authorize that.
Yeah.
So then on top of it, like Instagram and then Facebook acquired Instagram around that same time.
For only $1 billion. I mean, I say only like it's a small amount, but for Instagram,
Yeah.
It is.
And Snapchat somehow looped in there, and I had my Snap apps on forever, and like my phone company, regardless of the fact that we all know because of our right to privacy that doesn't exist. My information has been had.
I'm just
for too long for me to start worrying now. There's no way.
Yeah.
I think with the whole data conversation, it's just like all other countries like have, like England especially, or just any developed country, we literally are just like a fancy third world country at this point where all the stuff that we think is ours is actually not ours, with data, pertaining to data. But it's just, we've seen these examples of big like tech companies harvesting our data like out of the woodworks or up the wazoo, just being like, just taking as much as possible. And then we actually have a company that goes to trial and isn't harvesting our data, or when it does, it's putting it in a secure database within their company or stored on our phone. Yeah. And it's just like, it's just so hard for like seeing both parties come after TikTok like this. And it's just like, we already had the person that we should have prosecuted up in the court.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't we do it then? Why are we doing it now? And then it's just like, we're tracing it back to, since TikTok is owned by a Singaporean man, somehow it's connected to the CCP, US versus China. And it just boils down to just like, the US is just so stuck in its ways about it being like the best country in the world. And
people are starting to make moves towards China. So Honduras literally yesterday. So
it's just frustrating that we can never work together.
My other problem too is like, I get the idea that we want to support American businesses. Like I get it, why you would be a politician and you would want to create jobs within our country and you want to support our businesses. But I think where that falls flat is in the modern day, where you look at things like technology and you look at film studios and you look at people that are creating products that cannot be replicated exactly by a competitor. Mm-hmm. Like, sure, there can be several film studios, but they're not all going to make the same films. All these products aren't equal. You're going to have Apple, you're going to have Google, you're going to have whoever's making phones. They're not all the same phone. They don't do the same thing. They have a unique experience where, you know, you're buying that product, that specific product, for a reason. It's not like you're buying, you know, a part or a specific item or something like that. Like, people want this specific experience. And that's what boggles my mind about TikTok is like, the second any talk showed up about TikTok getting shut down, like Facebook pops up with Reels on Facebook and Instagram, and then, you know, YouTube pops up with Shorts. Thank you, YouTube, for Shorts, by the way. You've done great promotion for our podcast.
Not a fan of your comments, though.
No. So I get it. But it's not the same as TikTok.
Yeah. And also, I want to say, like, on the comments of, like, general censorship, I've been thinking, like, it's like the Facebook and the car crashes and chicken fighting, and how they couldn't figure out, they knew one was a car crash and one was a chicken fight, but they couldn't figure out which one was which. And it's, like, obviously very obvious and they were banning the videos of car crashes and labeling them chicken fights. Like, because it's all, like, no real human is doing that, and they're having genuine revolutions rise up in countries that we don't know and we barely know, and nobody we know speaks the language of. Right. And we're managing to everyone on Facebook is just managing to miss these messages. And I found, to be dead honest, that TikTok goes like over and beyond to censor things that are inappropriate on the app. Like beyond. Everyone's comments are fake body, TikTok, I am 18, like I'm 21.
Which I think is horrible, and I think is a problem that needs to be figured out separately.
Yeah. But I think into the argument
But it's their right to do it too.
Yeah, I think to the argument that a lot of people are saying is that, like, it's totally not a safe space for children, but, like, it won't even let a full-grown adult post a video that's even slightly suggestive because it...
Oh, yeah. Anytime I try and take my shirt off on TikTok, do a little thirst trap, it's gone in, like, within a minute.
Yeah, shadow ban.
And then we're talking about, there's, like, women in a lightly dressed clothing all over my For You page. like, I don't know what you're watching, bro, because that's not on mine. Like,
It's not
all
on
I see.
anyone's algorithm.
Scotty and I were talking today. Lately, I'm on this hardcore pawn shop.
Pawn, PAWN, not porn.
I kept
thought
saying
that's where this
porn.
is going.
I'm sorry. I kept saying hardcore porn. It's not porn. It's pawn. It's like this pawn shop in Detroit, Michigan, and everyone on it is such a character, and it's all over my. It's for that the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
I have not seen a dance move since before the Vietnam War.
Right. I wondered where Charlie went.
Yeah, she's chilling now. I
blocked her. I don't want her on my
Yeah, there
page.
are people that I have blocked.
She was kind of a queen for a moment there.
No,
And then they
her
have
and
the
Orville
feature-
Peck.
Okay, where that's something. That's totally something different.
So different.
I don't even know what that is.
Orville Peck.
No, I don't know what that is.
It's the guy that wears a mask. The
Like
cowboy,
the wrestle?
No, the cowboy hat. The cowboy guy wears a black mask with like fringe on it.
No.
Blocked that man immediately.
Yeah, no. I don't
Mask
know.
needs to be bigger.
I kind of want to see who I've
This
blocked
is
on
just me
TikTok.
just being an idiot.
But then the whole thing is, it's like, then they're talking about how there's like that 13 and under feature that exists in America but doesn't exist in Singapore. And so they're like dogging. They're like, why doesn't your children use it? And they're like, we don't have the under 13 feature because that's not something that we need in Singapore. So they just don't have the app.
Right.
It's just frustrating to see that like we have a government that can't work for the people, and it's just like it's not us just throwing a tantrum saying we want our TikTok. It's just more of the matter of it being right and the trial being a fair trial.
We're not being represented.
And it's not we're not being represented in the slightest. It's these people pushing an agenda because they've been lobbied for, and they have an extra boost in their paycheck if they vote yes to ban the app. And what I also want to talk about with like the trial, which is usually they have like a conference or something before the trial happens about why they are having this trial for the Congress. And they had one for Facebook, and it's like, it's doing this, and this. This is why we're trying them. This is why they are up for debate of if they are wrong or if they are right. And that didn't happen with TikTok. TikTok did not have a proper conference or like a meeting before the trial happened as to what they are actually trying it for itself. It's more of just they're trying to use this as a way to SMB 30, correct? Yeah. They're trying to rewrite SMB 30.
But also
SB
then
30.
on top of it, like this whole TikTok shit is so like it's redundant.
It is. And they're so rude to him.
And it's like, it feels like a massive filibuster to something else.
And
it takes away everyone else's attention. Like, there are other things going on that are significantly worse.
There are other apps that are so much worse. Like, if we just look at Parler, it's like QAnon galore up on that app.
Yeah.
Like, if we want to talk about misinformation, go after them. Why are we going for TikTok?
Misinformation
and you want to talk about data, like Facebook literally
is harvesting us.
Yes.
Not just Facebook. Facebook owns Instagram, Messenger, WhatsApp, Oculus. They know, like, if somebody has an Oculus, like, or what's it called, like the Quest headset now, like your
want to talk
body
about pupil
movement
dilation?
data is being linked to all that.
Yeah.
And that's not just for that. That's being linked back to your Facebook profile, back to your Instagram. All this is being
you are
like
a number for them. And it's crazy that they're even bringing up like that pupil dilation shit in the hearing because...
And like face recognition for filters. And he's like... That's stored on your device and deletes
after you're done
like,
putting the fucking
how do you unlock
glasses
your
on.
phone, dumbass?
Yeah, like and then one of the representatives had the gall to say, "You young kids may be looking at us thinking like we don't know anything about technology. You don't.
Yeah.
You just clarified it.
Yeah.
You literally just clarified it. The fact that Cartoon Network created a video, literally posted 2 days ago when the hearing was happening. Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
The child TV.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what Cartoon
Sorry,
Network
I'm just
is.
more of like emphasizing the fact that Cartoon Network did this. They made a video with their two characters, like I think Gumball and Darwin or whatever.
Okay.
The fish and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, these people literally run our country and they don't know how to work a phone.
Do you remember?
Made a song, made a chime to it.
Do you remember from the Facebook trials? Will you ban Finsta?
Yeah.
Wait,
Will you
what?
commit to ending
to
Finsta?
ending
Oh my
Finstagram.
God,
And
Finstagram.
he was like, what the hell are you talking about? And I was like, I feel so attacked.
good.
Yeah.
Because no one
That
runs a
was good.
Finsta like I do.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh,
I stopped using mine.
Yeah, I
logged in
use
and
mine
let
like
show.
once a month or so. It gets a little pop in, a little hey.
I got
Depends on where I am in my life and how active I am on that.
I love
beach.
yours.
Thank you.
Jill's is great. I had two. I had
I
one that
also
I
had
lost
two.
the password for, and then I had one that I like used after I lost the password. I logged in to both, and I let Jill look at it, and immediately
He was like, I regret this so deeply. I was like, my Finsta, whatever's on my Finsta, I'm telling you, like, is so much worse.
I looked at Jill's, and it's like 2,000 posts, and I'm like, holy
Yeah.
shit!
Mine probably has that
Scrolling
in the
through.
archives, but every time I have like a traumatic era, I go through and I archive a ton of stuff. Yeah.
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 It's like
banning
sometimes you look
Finsta.
back and you're like embarrassed, and you're like, oh, delete.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is nice about it.
But also, I've been wanting to say, like, the argument in regards to free speech and, like, I think the free speech debate is totally different than spreading misinformation. Like, if you're going to go online and start to spread lies, like, that shit should be taken down. Like, I'm sorry. You shouldn't be going on anything and just making stuff up. And, like, sometimes, like, it's funny, but also sometimes it's not funny. And when it's, like, information that is essential just for existence and, like, is general common knowledge, and if you're making stuff up about, like, major events, like, that should not be on the internet.
I agree.
But if you want to comment, like, you're hella ugly online, like, go for it. Can't take that
You
away.
deal with the repercussions.
I know. It's
not
like,
this
exactly. Like,
person.
you deal with, like, if you want
Right.
to comment stuff like that, like, say
you
weird
tip
stuff.
the karmatic scale. Your problem now.
Like, yeah, exactly.
And people think it's different too with like technology. Like, oh, they should allow me to talk. But like, if you went into the damn Oaks Mall, I know a lot of people aren't going in there anymore. But the mall
Kind
on
of
the
like
other
that
side,
place.
you like the Oaks Mall?
Low key, like, sometimes when I'm in a desperate moment, like, I'll pull up to the Oaks Mall and I will find what I'm looking for.
One of these days, I'm going to have to do an in-depth documentary on the history of the Oaks Mall
Yeah,
and
it's
what it
scary
used
as
to
hell.
be.
What is it? What was it?
It was amazing. They used to have an arcade where the H&M was, a radio
Gainesville
shack
Local!
where the H&M was.
ACR.
They had like 4 stores inside that H&M.
You get the country music.
No.
No
But-
more glitter for you.
But seriously, if you go in like a place like that and you start like saying the shit that people expect Twitter to allow them to say, you would get kicked out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And just because it's Twitter, it doesn't make you special. Just because it's on the internet doesn't make it different. Like, it is their business.
I agree.
And you don't
Yeah, you're allowed to kick people out of places.
Yeah.
That you
You don't
own.
even have to have a reason. It's kind of them.
It's kind of whatever.
Just
you
like
wanna
not
do.
wanting to do business with
It's
you.
private. It's private property.
So I think we're in uncharted territory because technology has never been really the talks of things amongst the U.S. government.
But I'm just
just
saying, with everything in me, like, if everyone wants to have this crazy conversation about privacy and what we have access to and what we don't have access to, like, that is going to cause serious problems, like, within America, because
Yep.
once a decision is made about our right to privacy, which is a invisible clause in the Constitution,
Yes.
we're screwed beyond
Yep.
belief.
I'm really vested in all of these technology trials.
Yeah.
I am.
It's the first social media that's ever come up. Well, no, it's the first. There's something about it. It was like it's the first. Oh my god! Well, it's the first social media company that might be banned. Basically.
Yeah.
But then on top of it, like, what if it's not an American-owned company? Like, they can kind of do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And I think that's also kind of what a major piece of that threat is that it doesn't follow American constitutional law. But
My
it's
thing
like,
is that
there is no...
there's 150 million American users using
Yeah.
this app.
It's
And
probably
we
more than
love
that
it.
because 150 million is Charlie's follower count, and
Yeah.
I can guarantee you not everyone follows.
I think it's
Charlie.
active. I think it's 150 million
Okay.
active users.
Because
I
I
could be
know a lot of
wrong.
people now that are no longer interested in using
Yeah.
the app in general. They're just
agree.
like, I can't use it anymore. It's too addictive.
I agree.
Right.
And I need to be one of those people.
Well, it's
too.
it's my thing where what I'm trying to say is that like if there's 150 million American or active American users, and the app goes away, the government is taking away an app that we oh so love, and it's just
Yeah.
like you take away the funny goo goo gaga app where everyone's just having a great time.
Yeah.
Like obviously there's going to be 150 million mad Americans, and someone is just going to come around and see just like basic business analysis and be like, oh, lack of good, me make good for the people.
I hate to bring political theory into this, but I just read, I think it's John Stuart Mill, and he makes this claim about freedom of speech, and it's like any government system that tries to ever infringe on your freedom of speech is like a defunct government, and you have no reason to respect them.
I mean, yeah.
Mill was interesting.
Mill is very, very, very interesting. J.S. Mill. But yeah.
Yeah, that's just what's happening in current events and news.
Oh,
wow, we're in 32 minutes.
Another trial that Jacob wants to mention
I did want to say, actually, to wrap this all up, just make sure you're paying attention to these trials. They're very important. And it's not just the TikTok one. There is,
much going on.
There's, like I mentioned earlier, there is the Microsoft trial that's going on right now, which is a really big deal as well. I know because it's an acquisition, it may not seem that interesting, but essentially there's a lot going on where they're trying to determine now whether protecting competition means protecting the competitors or protecting the consumer. And that's going to mean a lot for the way that technology is regulated going forward, especially because we all know how tech companies love to buy things. And there was something else I wanted to mention. Oh, the ongoing trial between Apple and Epic Games, Fortnite, is one that I've been very, very vested in. I'm hoping Apple pulls through on that one, but it's going to be
Fortnite.
That is going to be extremely consequential.
Yeah, and then as well, it's not only tech.
It's someone super important.
Yes,
it's a topic that is just so
the trial
riveting.
of the century.
What are we talking about?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, wait. Before we get into Gwyneth Paltrow, I just want to also make one more little announcement. Please, I know you guys have been seeing all these anti-trans bills going around. This is literally, I think it
probably
was like
the most important thing we're going to talk about
today. This is probably the most important thing we're going to talk about today because it is almost like we're in stage 8 of it, or stage 7 of a genocide, basically. If we want to go into the 7 stages or 10 stages of genocide, we are on literally the 7th or 8th, I believe. These
insane
lawmakers are basically going after a very marginalized group, less than, I think, 12% of the U.S. population. And it's just so disheartening to see these people that have life-altering care have that taken away from them, and then as well as people coming after the parents and having the kids taken away from the parents because the parents believe in their kid and help them and sponsor them through gender-affirming care. It's something that hits really close to home because this is like I've seen so many trials of people like people from World War II, veterans coming up to the stand and being like, I
saw that clip as well.
I've seen this happen, and this happened in Nazi Germany, and the anti-trans bills also coincide with the book bans. It's just as soon as they are banning books and education and these conversations, the hard conversations about who you are or what you can be in this world, it's so hard to even come back from that. Like they are really coming after education first to dehumanize these people, and it is so disheartening. Like I was in tears on like Thursday because I was watching like some trial or a mother in, I think it was Nevada, and it was just like I forgot who she was. She was an elected official, like she was an official amongst the government, and I don't know where it was. It was Nevada or Utah, somewhere out west. And it was just her being like, I'm going to filibuster the shit out of this, and I will never look at you as friends or even people that actually believe in a good world because you are attacking my child. Yeah. And it's so hard to see these parents like actually just break down because this is life-altering care that saves people's lives and saves kids' lives. And it's just, sorry, I just had to go into
I respect
why we need to talk about that.
Now.
We have a platform. I just like needed to get that out there. It's just so sad.
It's beyond sad. It's like one of the most pathetic things I've ever seen in the entire world.
No, completely.
It's pathetic. It's like, come on. Again, like we let you do whatever you want. You're a nasty sack of shit 90% of the time.
And you're just filling your wallet by getting
again, we're just like
people lobbying
taking
for you.
things. We're taking things away from people
Taking rights.
for no good reason.
No good reason.
You want to exercise every possible right on the face of this earth, and you won't let people exert their own one true right, which is self-preservation and their right to life. So
Literally just being an American citizen.
but that's the first. That's the
free,
one and
being
only
free.
natural law is that you have the right to live and exist.
Life,
Bottom
liberty,
line.
and pursuit of happiness. Where did that all go? It's just
It went to 2A, baby.
and the thing is, like, the one little note that I want to make and the one little connection I want to make about all of these bans going on, it's like they think with banning books and banning like creating anti-trans bills, it's like they think that education is what is indoctrinating these kids. No, it isn't. It's the fact that we're a free country and these sources are
becoming taboo.
Are becoming taboo, but they were taboo before, but they are being talked about more.
Well, yeah,
and
it's like how what's his face wants to get rid of my major.
Since they are being talked about more, that's why we're seeing a surgence of people being like, oh, maybe that's me. Like, I remember in our parents' education, probably, if you were a lefty, you were told that you needed to write with your right hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know my mom was a lefty, and she had to write with her right hand when she was in school. Since then, they stopped hitting kids in school, and they stopped making them move and write with their right hand if they can write with their left hand. Obviously, you're going to see a resurgence of people writing with their left hand in society. It boggles my mind since that, like, we can't make that connection. Since in education, this is being allowed to happen. Obviously, it's going to, like, allow people to have that conversation about who am I, who could I be, and where could I go from here? And it's like, it's not indoctrination. It's just more of a freedom that is being given. And obviously, since we see it as they're seeing it as an indoctrination, they're being like, oh, we need to stop it. No, it's a freedom of conversation. Therefore, people are allowed to do it and like learn about it and become it.
What I think a lot of people in the U.S. government should read is Thomas Paine's Common Sense, which is the reason that the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution exist. That was literally the igniting argument, but he says inside that time makes more converts than reason. And I unfortunately think that's the truest thing in the world.
Yeah. So sorry about that rant. Sorry,
but we can get into let's get into Gwyneth Paltrow.
Let's end on a good note.
It's our kicker.
Yeah.
In the news world, we say the fun story at the end of the show is the kicker. So that's what this is. Gwyneth Paltrow.
The Goop Queen.
Yeah. Oh,
They're
yeah.
definitely gonna make a movie. Have you been seeing the tweets where people are like, "She wore an outfit perfect for a film."
I am just gonna say, first of all, I didn't care who or what Gwyneth Paltrow was or what she did or any of this before this
She
trial.
sticks hot rocks in
Literally
herself.
didn't. I
She
literally
Just for the bit.
didn't know
Not
anything about
right.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
She drinks bone broth and
I
likes
know.
hot rocks.
I know. And so
Like,
now
did Chris Martin leave her? Did she leave Chris Martin?
no, they made a conscious.
conscious uncoupling. Yeah, she. Like, good for you, Dakota Johnson. You got a bad
We
ding.
want to talk about like being woke. They're like a different level.
No, like they are asleep. They are so woke. They are sleeping. Like
they're building the path for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And so allegedly there's like one witness.
it's a hit and run.
Somebody.
No, that's what it's
so
categorized
messed
as.
up.
They're saying it's a hit and run. Like she hit him and she ran.
Allegedly somebody hit the other person while they were skiing. And so and nobody can agree on who it was. And so this old man who's retired is suing and saying Gwyneth hit me and caused me brain damage and fractured, I believe, or broken ribs, one of the two.
Yeah, like
and
a
then
concussion.
and then she left. But the actual like receipt has an incident report on it that says that he hit Gwyneth. And so now she's like taking the stand, and the things that she has been saying.
They're like, what about Taylor Swift? She's like, we like know each other, like kind of.
And so yeah, the lawyer for the old guy is basically trying to be like friends with Gwyneth in front of everybody just to like butter her up and then catch her on a lie is the whole thing. So she was like, yeah, so you're suing him for a symbolic $1. Did you happen to get that from your friend Taylor Swift? and the judge was like, they tried to like object to it, and the judge was like, overruled. And
I want to hear this.
Yeah, and they were like, and she was like, no, Taylor and I are just friendly, but we're not really friends. I hadn't heard of it. And then she was like, oh, but you actually said you did know about it. Like, come on.
They're trying to like prove her as a liar or something.
Yes.
But she has spawned so many memes this entire trial. Like, she has earned mother card status.
My favorite is her being like,
I'm sorry.
no. Her,
No, you
her
need to watch
asking
her
for the
fucking
camera
Netflix.
to not be on her.
Oh,
That
yeah.
one was my favorite.
No,
She's like,
you-
I don't want to be.
Okay.
I don't want to be on the camera.
Oh,
When you
no.
guys go home, you need to watch. She has like a Netflix special.
Yeah,
About
I've
Goop.
seen it. I've seen
The
it.
Goop?
I love Goop.
But didn't she
I'm
do
gonna
the
catch
Kegel?
up on all her
Didn't
lore
she
now.
do the Kegel exercises with a bunch of other
Yes.
women in a shaman
Yes,
circle?
yes.
Yeah.
She also did the one where a guy is like, she's on like a bench like this, and the guy is like not touching her, but giving her a spiritual massage, and she is like convulsing on the table. It is the most like that video is my favorite one to watch because she literally like does a back bend like fully forward and goes and the guy is not touching her. The guy is not touching her at all, and he's
This
doing
is
a
the woman-
spiritual massage.
This is the woman that the song Yellow by Coldplay is written about, which makes it
So
even
yellow.
sicker. Like,
She's so funny. I'm sorry. They were like, the attorney was like, you yelled on the ski slope. He hit me in my effing back. And she goes, yes, I'm sorry for my bad language. Like, everything
She's just
about it
so
is
unconcerned about it. She's like, he literally hit me. he's just trying to get close to Gwyneth, basically.
but yeah, when he's like trying to sue her. It's like,
Boy, you
that-
swung first.
Yeah, it's like $9,000 in damages, and she was like, not she, but everyone's like, you are a multi-millionaire, like full time, like you are a surgeon, doctor, like that money is like $5 to you.
Yeah.
And Gwen is the whole argument too is like he had most of these conditions before because he's an old man. Literally.
Yeah, like
the lawyer's like, he's
he was bound to have
old.
he was bound to have a bad back anyway because he's old. Like
Yeah, he's literally old.
Yeah,
he's
and
gonna
they're
die.
like, what else did they say? They were like, he just wants her money. Like, that's literally the whole argument of the case.
Yeah.
Like, he literally just wants her money.
well,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Well, sorry if we ran a little
I'm
longer,
so
guys.
sorry, Nadia. She told us to start going shorter a while ago,
We
and we
went
did
longer.
one
An
short
hour.
episode, and now we're back to
We went
torturing her.
longer.
But I hope it's worth it. I hope
Yeah.
you enjoy yourself.
Well,
I'm sorry, Nadia.
And our final part of the show is our shit picks, new music.
yeah. So
Oh my god, I haven't even
I have this song.
looked.
So, okay, I've heard the song a few times, and then I saw a TikTok about her, and I was like, all right, I'm going to give her a minute. And it's Lil Sim's Gorilla is the song.
Wow.
It's so good.
Mm.
It's British rap, and she's a woman, so it's like smooth on the ears. It's really good. There's more shit.
I have been Remy Wolf has always been one of my favorite artists. I just need to go to the album real quick.
Triggered.
Why?
I don't know how to explain it, and I don't want to explain it on camera, so I'll explain it to you later.
I really enjoy Remy Wolf's Grumpy Old Man.
Okay.
What about you, Jacob?
My song was a no-brainer. This album came out last Thursday night, Friday morning. I called in my Taco Bell and I sat
Oh,
on my
Lana Del
bedroom
Rey.
floor. Yes, and I listened to Did
Paris,
You Know There's
Texas.
a Tunnel Under... That is not the song
I
was
love
thinking of,
Paris,
but
Texas.
it's cute. It's cute. I sat on my floor and ate Taco Bell and just, enjoyed Did You Know There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few songs I like off the album. The Grants, A&W, they were already singles.
Wait.
Already think I talked about them.
Taco Truck?
Is there a tunnel? Is there a tunnel?
Is that
Taco
what-
Truck.
Is that what you want?
Taco
I knew
Truck
it.
XVB
I knew
is
it.
the song
I knew
of
it.
the week.
I knew it. What?
What?
Lana
Is
Del
there a
Rey?
tunnel under the beach?
There's a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard.
Girl, that's the album. That's the name of the album.
Did you know
That
there's
there is a tunnel
under Ocean Boulevard?
Is this like...
I don't know what.
That's just the name of the album, babe.
All those words.
All those words are the name of the album.
What are we talking about?
Lana Del Rey.
Oh.
You. I
I don't like her at all. Sorry.
Oh.
I'll give it a listen.
That gay sigh from
You're not
both
the,
of us.
you're not the only person on the Rowdy staff.
I will
We
give,
both went like this.
I will give her. She reminds me of Lorde and that song she sang about solar power was so trash that it made me sick.
Bro, we're talking about Lana Del Rey, not solar.
It's the same thing.
No. Okay.
Isn't she
Paris,
a bad
Texas.
person?
No.
She's been questionable. But like...
Like,
I
isn't she like
love you,
Azalea Banks questionable?
No.
Azalea
Yeah.
Banks is
Different.
a whole different story.
You know-
she went after Azalea Banks.
Yeah.
They went after each other.
Yeah.
And I unfortunately,
But Azalea
not
Banks
unfortunately,
ate her up.
Yeah,
you don't
I
go
sided.
after Miss Banks.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, isn't she trial? Because I'm on the Azalea Banks.
Well, no, just Azalea
Pull up
Banks
anytime.
eats... exactly. What's the tea? The girls are fighting.
Okay, we need to stop.
Yeah, I'm sorry. All right. Love you guys.
Bye.
Have a great whenever this comes out. Great weekend, I guess, even though it's already last weekend right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch March Madness tonight. Let's
Can
go.
you-
That makes one of you.
Let's go. My roommates and I are all going. Let's go, Miami. Woo.
I mean, I'm not. Are you?
Do you know there's no number 1 seeds?
We need to end this.
Bye-bye.
We need to end this.
Yeah, you see, I
We
start
need to
talking and
end
I get
this.
them